All right, let's take you back to one of our main stories this Thursday. More than 5,000 mine workers will lose their jobs in Marikana in the northwest. Sibanye-Stillwater announced it planned to resume retrenchments after a moratorium on job cuts ends in December. Let's get you more reaction on these looming job cuts in the mining sector. We're joined in studio by mining analyst Peter Major. Mr. Major, thanks as always for coming into studio.
You bet, Michelle.
Your reaction?
Look, this is old news, so those of us who are reacting, we're not reacting to the news as much as we're reacting to other people's reactions, like the government, the unions. We've all known about this. And one of the reasons that Lonmin was taken over by Sibanye was it was too weak to stand on its own 2 feet. It had made a few wrong decisions. Metal prices had gone against it. It had accumulated debt that was unable to pay down, and the interest charges were going up. So Sibanye was large enough to take this project on, and people say, oh, they got it for $5 billion, it was worth multiples of that. Once upon a time, it was worth multiples of that. But they needed a big group that has some kind of balance sheet and that has other operations to be able to sustain a loss-making mine like Lonmin. So now Sibanye, they've been granted the rights to take it over, competition approval, government approval, etc. So really all they're doing is implementing what was discussed and decided 2 years ago. And because Sibanye is a large group, they said, we're not going to have to retrench as many people as originally planned. And we're looking at early retirement, and we're looking at redeploying some people as well. So there's no new devastating news here. The positive news is that they have taken over Lonmin and they've preserved 22,000, 23,000 jobs. The positive news is metal prices are higher than they've been in many years. And if that can stabilize things like we think it will, they could actually be hiring people, I think, in 12 months from now.
So no new devastating news, but devastating nonetheless for the people who will be retrenched. Is there room for emotion here, given the history of Marikana?
There's always room for emotion, but it's got to be controlled, balanced emotion. If you are a race car driver, or if you're an operator of a nuclear power plant, yes, you get emotional if it starts melting down, but you don't want your emotion to cloud your judgment. And that's what can happen here if we don't watch it. If we get too much emotion and people start burning things down, if they start destroying things, if they shut down a mine. We saw how marginal these gold mines are. That 6-month strike that Sibanye had on their gold mines has permanently closed divisions that would not be closing now. So, and Sibanye is not a rich company. It's got huge debt. It's got operations that can service that debt, but you know, once your debt gets to a critical level, like this country's debt is getting, you can't even service the debt. So, yes, emotion's going to drive all of us, but don't let the emotions control our decisions.
Yeah, no, sure. But I mean, you know, these are mining companies that for decades would have made a profit off the backs of the very miners that now stand to lose their jobs. Shouldn't they have some sort of liability here?
Look, this is a brand new company. Sibanye is not even 5 years old. It's taking assets that many other companies have.
Yeah.
So nobody likes history more than me because there's so many lessons to learn in history. But you can't take historical companies and label their responsibilities onto a new company that's putting chunks of those old companies together. You know, a lot of that management at Sibanye now is younger than a lot of the miners they've got. And Sibanye is an international company now, and you don't want to scare away foreigners. We need international money. You wouldn't have Sibanye today without international money.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we don't want to scare away foreigners, foreign investment as well. But can we stand to lose thousands of jobs in any sector?
No, this country can't stand to lose thousands of jobs. But this country can't stand to see any more mines close. We have closed so many mines here because we are unable to sit around a table and all make decisions that will perpetuate the mine. And that's, cool heads have to prevail. Yes, have emotion, but don't have emotion being the center of the discussion because then nothing gets done. The whole key here is we want to grow these mining companies. Lonmin has reserves for 100, 150 years. We can grow. Lonmin at one time could handle 40,000 employees. Now it can barely handle 20. If these metal prices just stay where they're at, they could be hiring people, in my view, within 12 months. This decision was made when metal prices were lower, but the debt was a little bit lower than it is right now. And there's Eskom. Eskom is a big role to play in this.
Yeah, and as we end off our conversation, hopefully there have been lessons learnt when AMCU and Sibanye-Stillwater get around the negotiating table.
That's right. I don't want to speak on behalf of the union or the company, but as a miner, as a manager, I remember taking a 25% pay cut one Christmas, and our Christmas box was we got to keep our jobs. And I'll tell you, you go to your bank manager, you say, I had to take a 25% pay cut. He will help you with your bond payment, your car payment. But if you tell your bank manager, I lost my job, he's going to say, wait, and he's going to put an order in to sell your house. I would be negotiating, how do we keep the jobs we've got, and how soon can we bring back these people we're retrenching? What do we need to do to bring these people back?
Absolutely. Well, thanks, as always, for coming into studio. Peter Major is, of course, a mining analyst as we continue to track the job cuts set for Sibanye-Stillwater in Marikana.